get him up here. His name, he started at a comedy festival with Nat, and now he comes to all the homegrown shows. Let's hear it for Nicholas J. Hyde. Get up here.
Hello. I can't see any of you, and it's a bummer, so that means I can't fucking pick people out and make them feel shitty tonight. Anyway, Valentine's Day, huh? That happened. In spite of my face, I actually don't hate Valentine's Day that much. I do celebrate it differently than most people, though. I kind of treat it like a second Groundhog's Day, where if I wake up in the morning and I turn around and the only thing I see is my own shadow, that means another 6 months of metaphorical lonely winter. It was a good one. I'm really glad you guys laughed at that joke, because I told it like 3 months ago and no one knew what the fuck I was talking about. Where's your Christmas shit? It's jokes like that, though, that all the sadness and loneliness stuff are probably the reason I occasionally have to go to therapy. I'm just kind of a bummed out, depressed guy, but my therapist has kind of been piecing together what's wrong with me exactly, and she finally came to a diagnosis where I have problems where, like, I just don't interact well with people. Like, I fucking just feel shitty around people I don't know, and I'm not nice, and I can't say nice things. And my therapist is like, in her head, she's like, oh, I figured out, you're a fucking asshole. That's what the problem is. But, so she has her little DSM diagnosis book, and she goes all the way through it, looking it up, like, oh, let's give you the drug that fixes assholeness. But it's not in there, so she's like, oh, well, what do? I'll go the next one in the book. Oh, it's Asperger's. You have Asperger's. That must be what it is. That's hilarious, but that's fucking true. If you don't have Asperger's, you have Asperger's-like syndrome. What does that mean? It means you should read this entire book about Asperger's. Like, okay, cool. And I do, and I learned a lot of things, like a lot of things that I used to feel really shitty about, I'm okay with now, because there's symptoms of a bigger disease. Like, because people with Asperger's, they don't really understand social norms. It's not like they're rude or standoffish or anything. It's like it doesn't make sense to them, so like, why the fuck should you put up with it? And I've had so many situations like that in my life, where I've just said a shitty thing, and now it's like I'm off the hook. It's amazing. I've got a new lease on life with this debilitating social disease. But there are times like I was dating a girl and we went to a bar and we were there for like 30 seconds and she's like, ah, oh, Jesus Christ, there's so many fucking people that I've dated here. I'm like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't fuck so many guys. There was a time when I would have felt bad about that, but no, I'm free now. That story's not true. I've never felt bad about things like that. But there's another funny thing, that same girl, the last show I did, I talked about a lot of like awkward, uncomfortable sexual encounters I've been in, and I was pretty detailed about it. And she came up to me, she saw the show, and she was really upset with me. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck did I say? But she wasn't upset about anything that I did have to say, she was upset that I didn't include her in it. Like, the first time in my life a girl has come up to me and is like, why didn't you tell that room full of strangers about all the shitty things we did in bed? And I think that's a sign I'm growing as a comedian, is when people are like, oh, we had a horrible experience, you should tell all your friends, get some laughs, and not being completely sarcastic about it. So that's rad. Not every day something like that happens. It's not every day you have a story where you send a girl to the hospital because of your penis either, so it's a story worth telling, but for another time. I know that's gross and weird now, isn't it? Like, what did he do with his penis? Everything. Ladies. But on to more misadventures and Asperger's. There was another time where I was out with a girl. Surprise! I know, this guy, he dates. And I was walking downtown, and fucking out of nowhere, a pair of bros just emerge from the bar, and they immediately start shit with me for like no fucking reason. It was crazy. So this guy's following me down the street, and he starts out with like, oh, you sure look like you did to me, oh, I had a fucking dick, and I just keep walking, and he's like, oh, you know, pussy, you big fucking pussy, why don't you come and say something? And I'm like, and I keep walking. He's like, oh, you big gay, come on, what are you gonna do about it, you faggot? And I'm like, God, this is weird, but, I got upset, and I was kind of drunk too, but I'm a comedian, so I had something really clever to turn around to say. I turned around and I said something like, racist at him. And so he gets right in my face. And he's like, what the fuck did you just say? And I'm like, oh, now it's time for my Asperger's brain to sort out what to do in this social situation. So I recited to him the entire conversation and explained why I thought he was accurate. And so I was like, first of all, there was all the dick stuff. I've got one that's cool. I hope you're okay with that. Then there's the pussy stuff. Those are also fine. I don't know why that's offensive. Matter of fact, the reason I'm out with this girl tonight, I was really hoping to see one tonight. You're kind of ruining that for me. But thank you. And there's the gay stuff. Have you been talking to my therapist? Because that one's pretty spot on. He was not satisfied with my answer. And so he gets even closer. He's like right here, and I'm breathing out, and he's breathing it back in, and, which is kind of hot. And he's like, oh, you think you're funny? Come on, you think you're funny, faggot? And I'm like, what the shit? I've never been this close to a man I haven't known in my entire life, and you have the audacity to call me a faggot. What can I do to defuse the situation? Asperger's brain, go. And as I leaned in to kiss him, he punched me right square in the side of the fucking head. That's my time. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it.
Nicholas J. Hyde.